This is a fact. It's a unique fact, but it is the fact. The global population today stands at 7.5 billion. But what is unique about that is that only 1% of the global population earns 90% of the world's wealth. What that means is that the remaining 90% of the global population, or 99% of the global population, exist and coexist with just 10% of the world's wealth. That indeed is unique. What I want us to do is to attempt to examine what is it that the 1% are doing that the 99% of the population is not doing. What is preventing people from becoming becoming successful? For me, it's a very deep-rooted, deep-centered focus, largely because it is my vision, it is my purpose to commit my time, my energies, my resources to bring up as much people as possible, to give as much people as possible the information that will help to transition them into becoming wealthy individuals. And our task is to make you become wealthy in two ways. One is to ensure that you understand the power of relationships and you understand how to leverage relationship to influence a process of development in your life. And the second is attaining financial wealth. We literally want to show you how to become successful. And while we believe that this is what should be taught in the traditional school systems, we know it's not. We don't know all the reasons why, and we don't need to know. What we know is that through my direction, we want to commit to be giving you the kind of information that will bring you to the next stage of development. Now, let me get this discussion rolling. Research has shown that one of the factors, or they say the most important factor that prevent people from being successful is the fact that they have fear. And I really wonder if fear is the common denominator here. If fear is a single most important factor that prevents the 99.9% of the people in the world from living healthy and successful and wealthy lives. I want to point out something about fear is that while I believe that fear plays a very pivotal role in what people do and what they do not do, I also know for a fact that there are different triggers for fear. And each trigger give us a particular type of results. And let's take, for example, someone highly emotional commits a crime. Commits a crime and is now forced into hiding. They're forced into hiding obviously because of fear. The fear of being captured. They're fearful of being prosecuted and sentencing. fear of going to jail and living with the consequences of going to jail. So that's a fear. But that trigger is different than, let us say, a young entrepreneur who is getting into business, but he now has to convert the theory into practice, and he really has no practical experiences in managing a business. So he himself naturally has fear. So there are two different triggers. One trigger is a desire to want to achieve something, while the other trigger is living with the reality that you have messed up and the consequences are likely to come. So for the rest of your life, you have that shadow over your life. I don't wish that upon anyone, but there are different triggers. And what I want to put to you is fear the only factor that prevents you from coming into success? I want to say this very clearly. Fear is not your enemy. You just have to learn how to manage fear. Can you imagine that you are a man without fear? You'll be messing up just like that guy that committed that crime. Without fear, you'll be messing up. Big time. Fear can be a healthy thing, you know. It keeps you in check. It helps you to be self-critical, and in being self-critical, you think through the whole process because you just don't want to fail. So, I first of all want to put to you that fear is not your enemy. You just have to learn how to manage fear. And I want to put this other one to you, that fear is not the only factor that is holding you back. Fear is one layer of the factors that are holding you back. Let me put this to you. What happens when you go to school, you learn the golden rule, and you make a decision that you want to become your own boss? What happens then? You graduate at the top of your class, and your entire classmate is inspired by your leadership and your knowledge of the subject matter. But guess what? You yourself don't have the capital to invest in your initiative. You have the confidence in writing your subjects and passing your exams, and you feel confident because you graduated at the top of your class. But you have other factors that can hold you back. That has nothing to do with fear. What happens then? What happens when you get to that point also of overcoming fear, but you still don't have a true sense of self, and you recognize that halfway in the project that you are really not passionate about what you're doing? This happens very often. The lack of passion is something that can prevent you from becoming successful. Not being aware of your passion and your drivers or your triggers for doing things, it's another big factor that really holds you back. And this is why in my book, Self-Application Best Practices, Cracking Billionaire Codes, I pointed out a number of reasons why people remain poor. You know, it's important for me to help you to come to that point to recognize your deeper sense of self. And when you tear away the first layer of the deeper sense of self, you recognize that you have purpose, you have passion, and you have gifts. Now, the importance of knowing these things is that your life that you're living and you're leading must be in complete alignment with your purpose, your passion, and your gift. This and only this is what's going to empower you to be anchored to the vision, to the dream, to the new innovation that you want to go after. You know, there are many roads to success. And there's also the right and the wrong route to success. And when you don't understand the steps to take, there is where the struggles begin. My task is to give you as much information that would make your journey easier, that will bring your success much closer to you. Because I'm fully aware that you have the potential for greatness. I'm fully aware that you have untapped potential. I'm fully aware that you are not defined by your past, and you're not even defined by your presence. Because you can make a decision right here and right now that you want to move in a direction to make the greatest possibilities happen in your life. And one of those possibilities might be to become the wealthiest man in the world. Why should you allow public perception of you to define who you are and to talk you out of your greatest success story? Why should you? You should never give the public power over your dreams and your hopes and your aspirations. You must never allow lies and doubts and fear to prevent you from coming into your success story. You have to take your life. You have to take back your life. You have to hold it in your hand, and you have to shape it, and you have to mold it, and you have to give it wings to fly. You give your life wings to fly when you understand your purpose, your passion, and your gifts, and you make a solid commitment to become the best brand of yourself. And when you become the best brand of yourself, you leverage yourself against people's needs, wants, and expectations, and you genuinely set out to make their life a better place, a better, and by making their life better, you're making a contribution. You're sowing a seed to make this world a better place. So there is a number of factors that I explain in my book, and I want to urge you to get a copy of my book, Self-Application Best Practices, Cracking Billionaire Codes, and begin the journey of transforming your life into becoming the best brand of you. You have greatness. You can be ranked among the 1% of the people in the world who controls 90% of the world's wealth. You have to start to believe in yourself. You must connect to your deeper sense of self and truly understand your purpose and your passion, your gifts on this earth. You must commit to discover who you are. Along with this, you must train yourself to think ahead. Thinking ahead simply means that you're in a position of strength to know what is it that you want and how to accomplish it. You know exactly what steps to take to accomplish your dreams. And sometimes accomplishing your dreams is not only about me, myself, and I. Sometimes about accomplishing your dream. It's easier accomplished when you can take the me and the I and the self, and you can say, let us do this. Let us go after success in the way that the world has never seen people going after success. Let us get out there and try to touch and transform and add value to people's life in the way that the world has never seen it. What is stopping you from thinking ahead in those regards? What is stopping you from taking bold steps to affect your lives and affect the lives of people in a positive way? I can say this to you, the only thing that is stopping you is you. That bullshit that this person said this about me and this person do that to me, and because of those factors, you can't come into your success story? Man, why are you allowing people to hijack your destiny? Why? Let me say this to you. You're the greatest asset the world has ever known. You're the greatest asset the world will ever know. You have the power to think. And when you divorce the power to think from any human being, you're not only stripping that human being of a sense of self and a sense of person, you're stripping that person of everything that they got. It means that it doesn't exist. You exist because you have the power to think. You have the power of thought. What you have not been trained to do is to use that power to nurture the best life ever. The 1% of the wealthiest people in the world, they have learned those secrets. My task is to give you as much as those secrets to help you to transition to become what you want to be, to help you to transition to become the best brand of yourself. My only task is that as you get this information and you start to use this information to better your life, I want you to make a solid commitment to do good in this world, to make a commitment to touch and transform the lives of people all around you. And that comes to purpose. Your purpose on earth is not necessarily to serve yourself. It's not about self-service, but it's about serving humanity. Every single business out there, they might say that, yes, I'm out here to maximize my disposable income, but I want to tell you a secret. The wealthiest people in the world, is not about maximizing their disposable income, while that might be at the front board. It's all about ensuring that they can reach people's needs and wants and expectations and add value to people's life. You have to become an individual who is committed to adding value to people's life. And when you do that kind of stuff, you will start to see that the greatest possibilities is happening in your life. But you cannot become an individual who can add value to people's life unless you make that first commitment, and that is to become the best brand of who you are. But how can you become the best brand of who you are but you don't even know yourself? You don't even know that you have a purpose, that you have passion, and that you have gifts, and those things is not defined by man, and man cannot tell you what those things are. You got to discover these things for yourself, and you got to recognize that when you are molded and shaped in the image of a supreme liking, he made those deposits into you that says that you're not defined by man, but you're defined by a God. And I have done great things, and you will come. There are those who will come after me who will do even greater things. We have read these things, but we just do not internalize these facts, and we just do not apply these thoughts and these principles to our lives. We have a brain, but we still need to learn how to use our brain power to internalize the facts of the universe and apply it to our lives, so as to ensure that great things can manifest. And let me say this to you. You're great. You're great because the fact that you're a manufacturer is unique. The most omnipotent, the most great, the most powerful made you. He made a masterpiece of himself. Many say, make them into the image of our liking. Give them the potential to do things the world has never seen. You're great, and it is my commitment to bring you to that point to truly recognize that you're great. It doesn't matter what you're going through right now. You might be happy, you might be sad, you might be feel as though you're alone in this world. Those things doesn't define you. You see, when you come to that point of starting to recognize that you have a deeper sense of self and you honor that deeper sense of self, you don't necessarily need anything and anyone to motivate you, because everything that you need and shall ever want or need in this world is right within you. Everything that is within the world only manifests because it emerges from within you. You had to think about these things before these things manifest. Look at the great things around you. Look all around you. Just look through your window and see all some of the great things that you're seeing. You're seeing a beautiful car. You're seeing a beautiful house. You know, you're seeing beautiful things. Did those things just manifest? Someone had to think about them, and then someone had to take action. The question I have to ask is, what action are you taking? What action are you taking to polish the gem within you? The strangest thing about life is that you have exceptional talent and exceptional potential, but yet you live in average lives. And that is so because of the fact that you give attention to everything but yourself. When last did you sit and honor yourself? Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm in love with me. Say things like, I'm the best me. And I will never stop striving to become the best brand of myself. I will touch and transform people's lives. I will inspire people to become the best brand of themselves. I will use my life as an instrument to touch and transform people's lives. When last have you had these thoughts? Stop cheating yourself. I want you to listen to this tape, and I will continue to bring more information that is designed to inspire you a little. Because my role is that if I want to empower you into business, you got to be empowered into business by first of all understanding who you are. It's important for me, it's important for you to understand that. I don't want you to be a lost soul in the world. Who are you? You know your name doesn't define you. But we will work together to get you to that point where you really know who you are. Goodbye.